Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Another common thread that really joins us all is the delusional belief that we had met our soulmates, our twin flame. And I want to talk about that today. I don't see anybody here in our collective saying, oh, I thought I had met a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or I thought I'd met, someone I'd like to get to know. Hell no, that's not what everybody's saying. It's not what I felt. We all somehow collectively believed we'd met our soulmate. Was I looking for a soulmate? No, I wasn't looking for a soulmate. Were you guys looking for a soulmate? I'm not getting that vibe. Somehow we were convinced, mind-controlled, brainwashed into believing this wretched, horrible person was in fact our soulmate. And I believe that this is a really important part of the puzzle, because I think it's what's keeping that soul tie connected, believing that there is some grand scheme, some real integrity, some real substance in finding your soulmate. And I just don't know how I feel about that whole soulmate concept. I will tell you, I was with Michael for 18 years. Michael died when our children were very young. The youngest was only a few months old, actually, when his father died. And I'll show you guys a picture of Michael in the next clip. Michael and I had an incredible relationship that spanned 18 years and probably would have very easily spanned our lifetime. But was he my soulmate? Sure he was, eventually, in time, after 18 years and 3 children and mortgages and jobs and life after life had happened to us. Yes, he had become my soulmate. Was he day one? No, he wasn't. And I think that belief, that concept, that idea of a soulmate eliminates for us, for me, the possibility of getting to know someone. I don't need to see all the magic day one. I mean, if I'm looking at someone as a potential partner, I don't need to see all the magic day one. I need to see a spark, not fireworks. I need a spark that entices me to get to know the person, to build a life together, to build a foundation together. And I got such a bad taste in my mouth about that whole soulmate concept, and how many of us were truly twisted, mind-fucked into believing that this was a soulmate. So now that the relationship is over, now that we're severing them, now we've got this longing like, oh my God, I've lost my soulmate, my twin flame, that one person. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. So, was Trevor my soulmate? Well, God, I hope not. Jesus. And no, I don't believe your narcs were your soulmate either. I think that that's part of the agenda, to make you believe that you need them, that they're important in your life. It's absolute nonsense. Do I believe that you have to find your soulmate versus growing a relationship into one of a true soul attachment, to growing one of true trust and honesty? I mean, come on, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It really makes me wonder how I even got sucked into believing that this horrible little troll could have been my soulmate. And, as I was transitioning out of that relationship, believe me, that was in the back of my mind. Oh, wait a minute. This is my soulmate. No, come on. It's part of the hypnotism. It's part of the magician's show. It's part of the fake facade. These creeps aren't anyone's soulmate. They're not able to attach to their own wretched souls. I mean, how are they going to truly attach to someone else's? But that new age philosophy, that concept, which is a pretty new concept, really, of soulmates, despite the fact there are 7.5 billion people on the planet. Somehow New Age philosophy wants us to believe that there's only one person, one in the 7.5 billion, one, just one, not 20, not 50. Come on, it's absolute insanity. And I do believe that feeling of losing my soulmate is where the transition came from Trevor isolating me to self-imposed isolation. I do believe in my life that Trevor's imposed isolation on me left me alone with him, probably furthering the concept, perpetuating the concept that he was my soulmate. And then, of course, you get free. You believe that that was your soulmate because you've been brainwashed to believe that, quite likely, as I had been. And now there's this tremendous loss of a soulmate. So we then go on and impose isolation on ourselves. I'll tell you, one thing I don't see in the threads, one thing I never get emails about is people getting away from the narc and moving on to new healthy relationships. And we really need to take a look at this because I believe for all of us, this is the next step. And of course, I'm talking about those of us in this collective that have gotten free and are now in a position to move on. And if you're still trapped, trust me, we're rooting for you. And I'm going to do a video today on additional steps that I believe will help people to get free. And if you are still stuck, take our hands. We're here. We're pulling. We really are. We want to see everybody get free, and we want everybody to move on. But getting away from your narcissist to now move yourself into a situation of self-imposed isolation is really eliminating the possibility of love for many of us. And I think together, collectively, we can get beyond that. So comments start to say things like, wow, I've met a really great person. You know, I'm out dating again. I'm enjoying meeting new people, because that we're not seeing. We're not seeing any of that. So we've got a collective here of really beautiful, enlightened, critically thinking people who are just so capable of expressing love, compassion, and really being great partners to the right people. But no, nobody's dating. People are nervous or afraid, you know, radars and full alert. And I think there's ways that we can correct this, and I think it's a combination of believing we've lost a soulmate, believing that possibly we can't replace that feeling of soulmate. I'm not sure the whole soulmate concept is even real. I mean, it sounds like just more of that, you know, new age, inner child, soulmate, BS. It just seems like more of that, kind of intended to keep people sick. Where do you go from losing your soulmate if that's what happened, right? I mean, I think it's all part of that manipulation that keeps us isolated, prevents us from moving on to loving new people. I don't think any of it's real. I never bought the inner child BS. I had a pretty happy childhood, and I certainly wasn't sourcing out, you know, some evil force to fuck up my life because I had unresolved issues. I'm certainly not wanting to be in a situation of self-imposed isolation, believing I lost my soulmate and there isn't another person out there for me. And I really do see this as pieces to the puzzle that are now, even once severed, once free, keep us trapped. I believe that's part of that whole soul tie connection. Now, many times I've said we need to accept the facts, right? I'm afraid I think this is one more fact that we need to accept, to really internalize. We haven't lost a soulmate. What we're losing as a result of this involvement with the narcissist, what we're losing is an ability to move on if we continue to perpetuate the concept, the idea that we lost a soulmate. I'll tell you, I've come to terms with the fact Trevor was sure as shit not my soulmate. Absolutely not. Which really diminishes the loss. What I lost was a horrid, wretched little piece of shit. That's what I lost. And I'll tell you, that severs soul ties when you really accept that you didn't lose your soulmate. The narc, male or female, was not your soulmate. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV, and I think it's time we start to explore the possibility of moving on and finding real love.